has a story. And I feel like every story will help and every story will heal.
Cheers.
I know. I was like, I
It's
can't
just
find
more
any in the
comfortable.
cup, and I was like, I'm using a mug.
Exactly. I need a handle. I'm an old lady now.
We're getting older. We need a handle.
That's right.
We need,
Make it
well,
easy
I
for
need a
me.
handle for a lot of different things, but you know.
I'm thinking about going blonde. I want to know, like, what's the process? How long does it take to go from, black or brown hair to blonde?
Oh my God, that is great. So welcome to the
So
Art and
excited.
Hustle Gallery Conversations. First topic is how to go blonde.
How to
Now,
go blonde?
are you going to do this yourself or are you going to go to the salon?
No, I would never.
Okay.
I would never.
Because I've done it myself and you have to be prepared for like to look crazy.
Okay.
So it's best
Well,
to go to the salon to do it.
right. That's the best way, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do it myself. I would never.
Yeah, because
I would never try.
I've done it myself, and then basically you turn orange.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to look orange. I don't want to have
Yeah.
orange hair.
Yeah. So what
That
you
doesn't
need to
sound
be
good.
prepared for is like make sure you have a lot of products afterwards to come home to use because your hair will be really, really dry.
Right. Right.
And it'll
Right.
be really, really frizzy. So you'll constantly have to put like coconut oil, anti-frizz stuff, to keep it from looking like a frizz ball.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
So
boy.
this is a lot of coconut oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
and like if they process it too much, your hair will turn into rubber band and break off. But if they know,
Oh,
but that's like me doing it at home, so I'm sure like
right.
the salon will know what they're doing. But if they
Right.
put chemicals in too long to get you really blonde, it'll break off.
Okay. So I'm thinking of doing it in stages, because I dye my hair black basically because I started graying like in my 20s. So I've been dyeing my hair for a really long time. And I'm thinking I should do it in stages. Like
Yes.
I'll go a couple of layers blonde the first
Yeah.
time and then the second. That's how I'm thinking it's probably the best way to do it without, having all of my hair fall out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want that.
So yeah, if
Okay.
you do it in stages, that'll be good because then it'll give your hair some rest time because they always say
Right.
like, give it, I don't know, a month or two, or like a month to like settle down, put the coconut oils, rebuild it back up, let it rest, and then you can do it again. But I don't have patience for that. I like to go.
Right.
I like to
You want the result right now.
Yeah, like I want to jump right in.
Yeah, I get it. And like, and I would too. Like, I don't go anywhere really. So it's like,
yeah,
I could look crazy for a few weeks while I wait in between sessions.
Yeah.
So to get like that kind of blonde that you have, or maybe even a little lighter, like how many hours is that of processing, do you think?
Probably, I feel like the last time I went to the salon for him to do it, it took a long time. Like, I want to say like just block out your whole day.
Okay. All right. We're talking like 6 hours at the salon.
Because like they wash your hair, then they color it, then they got to do it again, and then they cut it, and then they blow dry it. So like just adding in all of those steps, and then they might add a little glaze to it, So just spend the whole day at the salon.
Okay. All right.
But it's really fun because like I love to go blonde in the summer. And then after summer, I'll add like the lilac in there. Then I'll add like in it. So, and then I'll wash out again and I'll go blonde again. So for me, it's fun.
Of course, it looks great. It looks great. It looks so fun. And I'm really tired of my hair. Yeah. Again, I don't go anywhere. Nobody sees me. But yeah, occasionally I like to leave the house and I want to feel like presentable. And this is how I want to represent myself or whatever. But, going through all of that process when you don't like have any real place to go on a regular basis, I don't know if I don't know. I should probably wait for the summer when I'm going to be out and about more.
No, but do it now because like if it takes a while for your hair to get strong again.
Right. Okay.
But then like you'll have roots, you'll have, you'll have to maintain it or do, but I mean, whatever, like these days, do whatever makes you happy.
Right. Agreed. We're all learning the hard way that life is really short and you got to do what you got to do right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, listen, if you want to do it and it makes you happy to change it up, do it.
Right.
you know, like get on the podcast and cheers it up with a mug, you know, like.
Cheers.
So Skia was probably going to be really excited to see your face.
I should call him. I don't even know where I have any of my phone numbers.
Well, I can give it to you. He's talked about you and he loves you so much.
I love him.
I think he would have like a conniption shit and like freak out if you actually called him. He'd be so happy. No, I'm serious.
That's so sweet. He's the sweetest person in the world.
No, I'm totally serious because I talk to him all the time and he always like, because, you know, they're getting older.
Right.
And a lot of his friends died.
Oh my God, so sad.
So, you know, like he has really fond memories of special students that he loves, and you're one of them.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Like after so long and after teaching for so long, like that makes me feel really warm. That's so wonderful.
No, literally, like he's mentioned a few that that were in our class, and if I know that he really loves those students and wants to talk to them, I'm gonna let you know that he would love.
Fair enough.
He would love to hear from you because he's 70. I forgot what old he's 76, 77.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I'm making it up right now because I can't remember.
I know you.
But he did. Yeah. He would love to hear from you because he has.
I would love to talk to him
because, you know, he's got a few of his favorite students, and when you're getting older and your friends, a lot of your surfer dude friends died, and literally these days, like,
so sad.
I'm his favorite person these days.
Right, because you take the effort and you speak to him on a regular basis.
Yeah, so like I'm having like my Tuesdays with Maury with him.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Like you're getting older, and like I want to know all of your wit and wisdom of like basically his class of things that he taught us.
Right.
Like it should at this point be documented. So like after our first,
you're right. So what do you guys talk about? I mean, if you talk on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, or what have you, what do you guys talk about?
These days I'm asking him to tell me about books that he loves. We're talking about. He's also doing book reviews in Wading River.
Okay, nice.
So then like I'm like, okay, perfect. So like tell
me. That's so fun.
So
I also do book reviews.
There you go. So
I freelance though.
So we do like little book reviews. So that one of the last couple that we did was Death in Venice.
Okay.
Lies My Teacher Told Me.
Okay.
And forgot the other ones, but those were the two major ones that I remember right now.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So the next podcast I'm actually going to do with him tomorrow. So if you have any fun questions that I can ask him.
Well, is it book related?
No, it can be anything. Life.
Oh, wow.
Marriage, relationships, family.
I don't know. Now I'm overwhelmed now. I don't know. But I'll think about it.
No, I don't need to answer right now, but think about it. If you think about it tonight, and I think my podcast is like at 1:15 tomorrow. So if you think of anything between now to 1:15, you know, even if it's like one or two questions for fun, like be like philosophical, you know, world related, he will answer any question, you know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Sounds good.
So how are you, my friend? Is there anything on your mind that you would like to talk about?
Oh, wow.
And then tell the world.
Oh my gosh. That's I don't know. Nothing that you need to talk about.
Yeah, nothing crazy. You know, just my entire life is, you know, unfolding on its own.
Right. No, I understand that. Especially it's really hard when you have to deal with things that other people don't really understand. Right. And like you need to talk about it, you need to get it out, but you know, it's hard to find that level of empathy and understanding, because we grew up in such a particular way that I feel like only Asian people really understand it. Like anyone can sympathize for sure, but people who can really feel it and know what you're talking about, I feel like it's a very Asian thing.
Yeah, and that's like a good topic, you know, that we could talk about if you're down.
Sure.
But like I feel like we can talk about anything, really.
We can talk about anything. How are your kids, first of all?
The kids are great.
Okay.
They're great. Where are you now? Because did you move?
I'm in Texas.
Okay.
I'm in Texas. I'm outside of Houston. I'm in a suburb of Houston, and it's great. I love Houston. I think it's a fun city.
Mhm.
The suburb I live in, it's just a suburb. It's fine, but it's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
I ride my bike and lots of dogs and neighbors are nice. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Are you living with your sisters or you have your own
Mhm.
apartment?
I live with my sister.
Mhm.
She
Older,
it's such a long
younger?
story that she does many different things here,
Yeah.
but she moved here initially because she was going to school for her doctorate.
Mhm.
So she came out here for school and got a house and started working and everything. And my life is always very temporary. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go there and see how it is, and then I'll make my plans after I get there, which is the situation I'm in now, which is it's nice, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I pretty much love it here, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm doing. I'm just like kind of here. It's temporary, but it also feels permanent because it ended up being a very cool place to live, which I did not anticipate.
Yeah.
I anticipated sort of disliking it because it's Texas. I thought it
Yeah.
was just going to be like,
Yeah.
Donald
It's gonna
Trump
be Texas.
fans and right, it's going to be Texas, like guns everywhere and
Yeah.
people shooting. Not like the Wild West or like that. I'm not that stupid, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
but
totally understand. I totally understand you. Like that would be like me going there. I'm like, I don't know what to expect, you know?
right, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But I did have like preconceived ideas
Mhm.
that have been pretty wrong. you know? but but it's a really lovely place. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that all of Texas is lovely, of course not. Like every place has its good points and its bad points, but where I am is
Mhm.
lovely.
Yeah.
The people are lovely. It's really safe. I know like Texas is known for like everyone like babies having guns. So, you know, here's my 3-month-old, we just got her a gun.
Mm.
But
Let
I
me
mean,
know if you want me to cut any of this out.
Texans can take it. That's another thing about Texans. Like it's nice here, it's perfectly lovely. But there's this thing about Texas people where they're like, yeah, Texas is the best. And it's not any better than any other place. They're like, I'm
That's
really
like,
looking for
yeah,
it.
that's like New York. We're like, no, we're from New York. Like New York is the best, kind of.
Right, right. And also, like, how can you tell a New Yorker that any other place is better than New York? Like,
Yeah.
no, you're
Yeah.
not winning that argument.
Yeah.
But like with Texas, it's like I feel like it's like generations of like pioneer mentality or something. Like,
Mhm.
we built this log cabin from nothing or something. Like I don't know what
Yeah.
it is really. I don't
Mhm.
want to delve into it, but people are so gung-ho about Texas. They
So
really love being
there's like a major pride of
it's a major pride, major pride. Like everyone has Texas flags on their house, not
yeah.
American flags,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
just like Texas is its own country.
Oh, like
You
here is
know?
American flags. It's not like New York
Right,
flags.
right. It's like Texas flags,
That'll be
lone state
funny.
flags.
Start a new trend, New York flags.
I know you don't see that. You don't see New York flags. You see New
Like New
Jersey
Yorkers are not
flags.
gonna hang a New
Nobody
York
does
flag.
that.
No, but
Nobody
Texas
does
does.
that. Even in like Republican Florida, you don't see Florida flags.
Yeah.
Nobody does that but Texas.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't even know what the New York flag looks like, to be perfectly honest. No
No,
idea.
I don't know
No
either.
clue. No
Nope.
clue.
No, I don't know. I have
But I
no.
know the Texas flag, the Lone
You
Star
should
flag.
have one hanging behind you.
That's a great idea.
Quick, put one up.
Some rifles.
Yeah. Quick, put one up right now. That would be really funny. I'll be like, Susie, what happened? Like, do you need a
Just love guns now.
cowgirl? Do you need a
I moved to
cowgirl
what's that?
hat? Do you need a cowgirl hat to go with it? The flag?
Oh God, I know. Like, what happened to Susie? Like, she moved to Texas. She bought a rifle.
Yeah.
she's got a
Oh my God.
cowboy hat. I don't know.
How was Mexico?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I could live there except for the water situation, which I don't know if you know. Like, their water is not safe to drink, even
Oh,
for natives, people who have lived there their entire
really?
lives.
Really?
Yeah, because there's something with like their pipes or their sewage system where
Yeah.
their water doesn't get clean the way that
Yeah.
it does in like New York, say, for instance. Um, like, water cleaning plants and sewage plants. And so they have like bacteria or parasites in their water and it can make it sick.
Ooh.
So what you have to do to counteract that, you can either boil your water, which is labor intensive in my opinion, or you can have like big jugs of water delivered, or you can pick them up from like any corner store or anything like that. So you're constantly buying water to just drink or cook.
Also, like if you take a shower and bath or brush your teeth,
The shower is fine. So, you know, as long as you're not drinking it, you're fine to use it.
Oh,
if you're boiling pasta, that's fine to use the tap water because you're boiling it.
Okay.
Right. So there are certain instances where using tap water is fine, like showers or washing your hands.
Yeah, but if you take a shower, it can get in your eyeballs.
It could. It's in your when it gets through your stomach. That's how you get sick. Like you'll get like diarrhea. You know. Yeah. So if the parasites will live in your stomach, I don't think it'll.
That's what I was worried about when I went to China. I was like worried I would get sick when I went to China, but that didn't happen though. I actually got sick. Okay. It didn't happen. I actually got sick when I came back to America. Yeah. So
maybe it was the plane or something. A lot of people get sick from the plane because it's circulated air.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, why I did not get sick when I was in China, but I got sick when I came back.
Interesting. Yeah, I always get sick when I come back from a trip. I always get like the flu or a cold or something.
Oh, so it must be the plane.
It's a plane. It's the plane. It's just, they don't really clean them that well. Yeah. Oh, I also have a plane tip. Don't ever drink the coffee or the tea from a plane because they fill up these reservoirs in the airplane that they never clean. They just keep filling them. And that's where they make the coffee.
And I drank coffee the last time.
Could be that. It could be that.
Well, no, the last time I drank it was Thanksgiving. I came back. I drank some coffee in the plane.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And I love coffee, so it's a real bummer when I can't get coffee on a plane. But it's just not worth getting sick. There are chances that you won't get sick. Of course, most people don't get sick, but there is a chance that you will get sick. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. So you went somewhere during Thanksgiving, you said?
Thanksgiving I went so you know, like I'm kind of unpacking my life and I'm actually writing an art book about kind of like little stories and quotes and adding art. So it'd be like a coffee table art book, but I'm also adding my life story in there.
I love it. I love it.
You know? And I actually just revealed my life childhood story on one of the podcasts I did with Sunrise.
Wow, that's really brave, Linda.
So that
good was for you. If it feels good, then good.
Yeah, because I feel like I've been holding it in for so long and I just need to release it so I can get it out of my system kind of thing. And eventually, like the whole point is for me to tell it so eventually maybe my pain would give somebody else freedom and like help somebody else know that if I can go through this stuff, you can get through whatever struggles you're going through. But one of my girlfriends saw, like, I was doing a Zoom with her, just catching up with her. And I was like, I think I gave her the lowdown of my life and I started hysterically crying. And so like, Linda, like, come out to Seattle. Like, I'll gift you a trip to Seattle.
Oh, that is so nice. That's so kind.
Yeah. So I spent Thanksgiving with her, her family and her parents and sisters. So it was so beautiful.
That's so kind. I love that.
Yeah. And what the beautiful thing I'm realizing is that even though, like, I think me being so open and then people feel like comfortable to be open with me as well. So I feel like even though I needed a trip as badly as her, she really needed that growth time, I think, as well.
Absolutely. People need their friends. Yeah.
She's a New Yorker. So she's in Seattle. Like, it's a different environment.
It's a different vibe. It's smaller.
Yeah.
It's gray all the time. Yeah. So why did she move to Seattle?
Job. She went to Amazon first, but then eventually she didn't like working at Amazon, and so I think she's working for a startup for a little while, and then now T-Mobile. But eventually she met her husband out there. She has a daughter now, so
nice.
So her life is there.
Right, her life is there now.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a good time.
I had a great time, but she's a new mother, so like having, you know, a baby, like it's tough. You kind of lose yourself. You
do. You have to. That's the nature of motherhood.
Yeah.
You know, you lose it.
Yeah.
It's not about you. And
no.
If you don't have help, I mean, thankfully, you know, she has someone there to help her and she has family there. But if you don't have help, like, I don't know how people do it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it.
I don't know. How's your work and everything?
Good. Everything's good. I like that I can work from home.
Mm-hmm.
I do sometimes miss going to an office,
Yeah.
like the whole, setup, this is my desk and getting on the train now and like
Yeah.
that is just, there's a nice dynamic regularity to that
I
I
like nice
miss.
routine.
Routine, that's the word I'm looking for. The routine is missing from my life, even though my life is the same more or less every single day. I get up and I start work and blah, blah, blah. But there is something nice about a little commute, not a huge commute, not a 2-hour commute, but a nice little commute where you have your little routine. You get your coffee at their corner coffee shop and you say good morning to people. So I think I missed that.
Yeah.
Even just like the light acknowledgements you get from people you don't know very well, the barista or the person at the front desk or whatever. I don't have that.
So are you
I'm
working
not
the same job you were working when you were in
Yes, I'm
Florida?
working the same job. And I am due to visit, but like there are people I haven't met in real life that I work with, so that's a little weird.
Yeah. Now,
But
where's the location headquarters?
It's in Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn.
Oh, it's in Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I could visit. I could show up anytime I want to. I just don't. But I think I should. I should this year.
Have you been? Have you been? When was the last time?
No, not since I started. No, because it was a pandemic, and so.
Okay.
Well, whatever. And I don't need to be there. There's nothing I need to be there for. But I think I just want to meet my colleagues. So that'd be good. But
so
everything's good on that front.
Doing like, are you doing copywriting? What are you doing? I forgot exactly.
So like I'm a project manager of projects that they handle. Okay. So like I make sure stuff gets done.
Okay.
And there's some creative in it. There is writing, of course, but it's more like, is that done? Great, give it to me.
Yeah. And do you have to proof it or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all that. So yeah, it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, if you ever go to Brooklyn, let me know. So we'll hook up.
Of course. Are you kidding? Of course. Yeah. Of course. Oh my God, of course. I miss everybody. I miss you. Now I can't think of anybody.
Just
do I know any people? I don't know.
Just me. Just me. That's okay.
Just you, Linda. You're
just
the only
me.
person.
That's it. It's okay. You can only miss me. I like it. Oh, well, you could like maybe find a cute little coffee shop and then like pretend that's your office and get your coffee.
Right. I was looking into that.
There, right.
That's
like
that's what I think I'm gonna do. Because I think I need to leave the house more often is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, like find a little coffee shop that you like to get your coffee and get your laptop and find a little spot and
right.
Right. And then start documenting that on Instagram. Okay, this is my office. And then go to the next spot and then start reviewing the coffee. Be like, here's my coffee.
Yeah.
Here's my review of it.
No guns in this coffee shop. Surprising. You
should totally. Suzi, I mean, I don't know if you realize, but you're hysterical. And
oh my God.
Like you should totally do like some funny reviews on things.
Thank you. That's my favorite compliment, by the way. I love it when people think I'm funny. I love it.
Really?
I can't get enough of that.
You really
are. It's my favorite compliment.
Well, I mean, you're super funny and you're super intellectual and like the combination of beauty and brain. No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying. I'm not. I don't say things I don't mean.
I know you have no reason to lie. Why would you lie?
Like I'm more authentic.
It's still hard to hear.
I'm more authentic these days. So if I do say it, I mean it.
Good for you. I love that.
But no, I think you're beautiful inside and out. You're funny, you're smart. So like, even if you did like funny reviews of like crazy places, like you went to the coffee shop, here's my review of it. You went to this place. So like, sweet. I mean, just like traveling and doing
You're right. I do love traveling and I do love reviewing things.
But it's the funny sarcasm in it that I find super amusing, because like when you write, I know it's you, like it's got the added little flavor to it.
Oh, nice. I
can't even make a nice heart. Oh my God.
I know it's hard. It's really hard.
Really hard. Is that better? That's better.
It looks good.
Like
it looks
sad,
good.
like weird. I don't know. I don't do hearts. Like
It's really hard.
I'm not one of those Asians that like to do like,
I know.
I'm not like that. So I don't even know how
I
to
know.
make
I'm not either. I do find it cute.
better.
I love it when they do it, but it's very silly when I do it.
No, I feel
It
weird.
doesn't work with my personality. I'm like too cynical, so it
No,
just
we're
doesn't
more of
work.
like a fuck you kind of attitude. It's not
Right, right. It doesn't work for New Yorkers, I think. It's just
no.
comes off very strange. It's like, no, that's
Yeah.
not our culture. That's your
No.
culture.
Our
That's not our
culture is like fuck you.
exactly. Like, I'll help you, but fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay.
Or what the fuck do you want?
Right, right. Get to the point. Get to the point. Get to the
Yes.
point.
Yes.
That's what I
Okay,
like about
so
you.
how's dating any men?
Dating.
One night stands?
No.
Uh,
No, definitely not.
any
No,
of
that
any
ship
of
has
that?
sailed. That ship has sailed. No.
Okay. Oh, remember, I think that one of the things that we were randomly texting was like red flags. Like, I don't know. I'm just
I'm
thinking,
oddly good at this, even though I don't date. And like I'm thankfully like I was very into dating like in my 20s and my 30s. And then I just I think because I've had like a series of like insane people
yeah,
that it stopped being fun. Once
like,
it stops being fun, like don't
yeah.
do it anymore. So I stopped doing it and I realized I didn't even like it to begin with. I think I
Oh,
was just doing it because, you know, like that's just what you do. And I thought that I
yeah,
wanted these things, but I don't. And like now that I let that go and I just don't focus on it or think about it ever, it's great. You
yeah,
don't miss it when like you let your life grow in other areas. But with that being said, I I think I'm really good at spotting things that I wish other people could see. You know, like red
yes.
flags. Like,
Well,
sorry, I don't
because
know why I'm so
you like gut instinct that as well. Because
right.
remember we had the two stories that we shared.
Yes, yes, it's that. It's trusting your instincts
Yes.
about somebody
Yeah.
and not ignoring things because you're trying to be kind to the other person or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
which is what
that's
we used to
ridiculous.
be. So now,
Right,
like,
right.
I feel like now we're probably getting better to sit in our, you know, gut instincts and be more authentic to be like,
Absolutely.
no, I don't like that. And I'm not gonna.
Right, because now I realize I have nothing to gain by ignoring what I want. I have nothing to gain from that. Like what are you talking about? I don't know. I think a good red flag to watch out for is like weird lies that don't add up.
Mm,
You know, like so it's so easy to be like, oh, you know, maybe they didn't mean to say that, or maybe they did tell me and I forgot, or whatever. But if you find that the person you're dating, you catch them in lies all the time and it's not serious yet, it's not to that point, then I really think you should reevaluate the situation because
and
there's
run.
so much stuff like immediately.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many things about that person you don't understand and you don't know and you're never going to know because they're so used to making up stories. You know, so if you get the person you're dating in a lot of lies, like lies after lie, then I really think you have to stop and like reassess the
Like
situation. Like it's not going to improve.
even like one of my girlfriends, I think she was dating somebody and he was lying about the smallest thing.
Right.
Like to me, it's like, okay, maybe a big thing, but it was like the smallest trivial thing. It's like, why
are
lying
you
the small things? Like if you could lie about a small thing, then you can
very strange, very, very,
really,
very
really
strange.
big thing.
Yeah. It's just weird. And it's a characteristic you have to look out for and you can't ignore it. It's rude to be like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, that doesn't ring true to me. Or, you know, it feels rude to call people out when they're lying to you. But what you're doing when you ignore somebody's lies is you are ignoring your needs.
Yes.
You need somebody who is going to be truthful and who you respect. You're going to lose respect for that person after a while.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So lies? No.
Come on. Yeah. So
that's
number one red flag. Don't ignore the big lies, the small lies, whatever it is, just run.
Right. Just run.
Just run.
I think when somebody is mirroring you too closely, like I dated a guy a while back and like I love nature, I love trees and hiking and like he loved trees and hiking. And we were at this like this nature preserve, and like he was acting like he was all into these trees, and it was very bizarre, and it was so clearly a performance for me that
Yeah.
I was like almost physically revolted.
Really?
I was like, what is he doing? Is he
Like,
putting on?
was this like a first date or what was this?
Yes, it was a first date, and I knew him through this like photography club,
Yeah.
and um like we started talking, and so like I knew him in real life, so I didn't feel like I was I felt like I was wrong, because like this is like everybody loves this guy, and he's so
Mm.
like well
Yeah.
respected in the photography community, and
Yeah.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Everyone has only great things to say about him, but he was acting really weird on a personal level.
Oh,
Like
well, your gut
like
instincts were
my
like,
gut instinct told me that he was not being genuine. Like he was
yes,
putting on a performance for
yes,
me. And
yes.
that's essentially what ended up happening. Like he was acting like someone he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And um like I don't want to pathologize behavior, because I don't know what his psychological thing is,
Yeah.
like I don't know
Yeah.
if he's bipolar, or I don't know if he's like,
Mm-hmm.
clinically narcissistic or whatever. Like, so I don't
Yeah.
know any of that. Like it didn't
But
get that.
there was something definitely
There
there.
was something definitely there where he would like the whole like love bombing thing.
Oh, yes.
He was doing that big time. And
Yeah.
since like I was aware of what that is, I was like, I think he's doing that to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's trying to manipulate me to make
Mm.
me think that we're more similar than we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that when somebody does that, what you're doing is you're
Mm.
basically falling in love with yourself, because they're acting like you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it it can work. It can really work, because this person is reflecting everything about yourself that you
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
right? So like I was aware that something was happening, but like I didn't really know what.
Mm.
Like why
Mhm.
would somebody do that? Like
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like we only dated for like 3 months, because there was always something that I felt uncomfortable about with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did try. Like I did try,
Yeah.
and it ended up being what I thought. Like he was acting like somebody he wasn't,
Mhm.
and then he would just disappear. Like
Mm.
everything was like perfect, and we were like meant to be. Like he was just so sweet and like coming on a little too strong, and then he would disappear for 2 weeks, and then I'd be like, hey, that's really fucked up. What's going on with you?
Yeah. Why would you disappear
And
for 2 weeks? Like,
right, just like, oh, I've been busy,
yeah.
I was.
No.
And I'm like,
No.
oh, and
Mm-mm.
like I'm not his girlfriend, so I can't say like
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's not cool. That's not what I want. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's another red flag, when you find yourself excusing behavior that
Mm-hmm.
isn't cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like that, you
Yeah.
should walk away from that. You should definitely walk away from
So
that.
around what age do you think that you started to really believe your gut instincts and
Um,
really be able to
Probably,
see like these red flags?
I think you do need a level of maturity to spot it, because when you're younger, you give everyone the benefit of the doubt, because you
Yeah.
don't know enough about humanity. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
people, you just don't have enough experience. Unless you started dating at 12 years old, you just don't have the experience
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
know like what people's major malfunctions
Yeah.
are. You can't spot it quick enough.
Yeah.
So for me, like I don't have like, a strong dating history. Like I didn't date in high school really. Like
Mhm.
um I don't know. I don't really know how to describe like my dating history. It's more just like very casual,
Mhm.
just here and there.
Yeah.
It's nothing really to speak
Yeah,
about
like I don't I
even.
never I had like maybe one boyfriend that I dated for like 1 month in high school, and that was it. And then college,
Right.
I dated two guys, but then it wasn't even serious. So like I didn't even date in college either.
Me
Really?
neither. I didn't date in college.
Like it was just like two random guys that I saw for a short period of time. And then
Right.
afterwards, now you're like out of college. So now you're like supposed to know what you're doing, but you don't.
Supposed to, right. But if you don't have experience, you don't know
Oh,
what
yeah.
to do.
Hmm.
You don't know, like, you don't know, especially as women, you don't know that you can be like, that's not cool. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
Because we're sort of trained to say, oh, I have to be cool because then he's going to think I want to get married tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though nobody wants to get married tomorrow.
Yeah.
but if you're not chill about it, then you're gonna turn him off. Who the fuck cares? He's
Yeah.
turning me off. I
Yeah.
don't like him, but we're not trained to think that way,
No,
right? Like
like being
it's fun.
Asian, you're supposed to be, you're trained to be timid, agreeable,
Right,
be a
right.
good girl.
Agreeable, just be
Yeah.
agreeable. Don't
Yeah.
don't rock the boat.
Hmm.
Um, and I also just didn't know what I wanted
Yeah.
for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I just thought that this is how it works. You just eventually fall into liking someone who likes you the same amount.
Hmm.
It doesn't work that way. You really have to stick up
No.
for yourself right from the beginning, and you have to
Yeah.
like lay down the law, and you can't be chill about anything because this is
Yeah.
your life.
Hmm.
You can't be chill about it. Okay, there's no
Yeah.
being chill.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm just learning about all those rules at age
Right, right.
46. Like, I feel like I'm just
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
learning more about my boundaries. I still don't think I know all of them, but I'm still learning
Right.
what I like, what I don't like, my boundaries, and be able to
Right.
be more authentic and use my voice and my gut instincts more. So
Right.
I feel
Right.
like I'm a
It's so
kid just relearning and
for
unlearning
sure.
and like
Yeah, it's a
unlearning.
constant process. It's a
Yeah,
constant process because like as you grow, you also change. So your boundaries are going to change. So you have to like relearn yourself.
yeah.
That
And then
makes perfect
unlearn
sense
all
to
those
me.
things that was brainwashed into us,
Hmm, hmm.
childhood.
Just be
And
chill. We don't want to get married. Like,
yeah,
get out of here with that garbage. Like, we're not 19. What?
yeah.
Get out of here.
Well,
Stop wasting
but
my time.
also like society teaches us to be like, well, you're really nothing unless you have somebody or you're married,
Right,
have kids,
right,
or you do all
right,
these things.
right,
You have to like do all the checklist of things. Otherwise
right.
you're not like
Totally,
accepted into
totally.
society. And then
It
you wonder
definitely
like,
does that.
why am I not like that? Or should I do that?
Right. Like, I never wanted that, but I was forcing myself to go through the motions, like in my 20s and my 30s and like in my late 30s. I was like, I hate this. I
Mhm.
hate it. I don't like the process. This is not fun. I
Yeah.
don't feel like myself when I'm dating. I feel like somebody totally different, like this character I'm putting on. I hate it. I'm going to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back. I stopped doing it and I feel so much better. It made me feel terrible about myself because like these guys you couldn't keep their attention for more than 30 seconds. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it started to make me feel really bad about myself. Like
Mm.
there must be something wrong with me. There's something
No,
wrong with
no,
me.
because then that's like similar to how you felt in high school. So basically,
Right.
guys probably are not smart enough for you. So you need somebody more intellectual, more worldly, probably. So someone older.
Yeah, I hate that because I'm not interested in old men at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
maybe there's
like it doesn't matter. I'm not looking anymore. Like it
yeah.
doesn't matter
No, I'm saying like
anymore. But
eventually,
like,
whoever the guy is, like he
right,
just needs to be very, intellectual and smart and fun
for
and like
sure.
adventurous or whatever it is
Absolutely.
that you.
Absolutely. Got to read a book once in a while. It's
Yeah,
not like,
yeah.
oh my God. So I learned that it made me feel shitty, so I stopped doing it.
Good for you.
And now I feel great and I'm not going to worry about that anymore.
Good.
Yeah. So if something makes you feel shitty, stop doing it.
Yeah, I'm just learning that.
It's hard. It's so hard. It's so, so hard.
I am just learning that because I'm so used to basically like sorry, basically like doing what makes other people happy. I'm always like
Sure.
worried about, like I was taught to worry about everybody else's needs
Right. Right. Right.
before my own. Like that's
Right.
where, like it's all about
Yeah.
everybody else.
You need someone really gentle and artistic, someone who has a lot of love to give,
Mhm.
someone who can meet you halfway.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone who knows like how gentle and sweet you are,
Yeah.
and can appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like people who are gentle, they are like very few and far between.
I know. It's funny. I was watching, so one of my guilty pleasures of
Mhm.
shows that I was watching is Singles Inferno on Netflix. The
Love
Korean.
it. I love that show.
Did you finish watching it?
I watched only the first season. I haven't started the second season because I want it all to be there
Oh
before
my,
I start watching
yeah,
it. So I'm
I
just
know.
gonna be.
So it's all there.
It's all there now.
It's all
Okay,
there.
I'm gonna do
We just
that.
we just watched the
Tomorrow.
final episode. Me and my so me and
Don't tell me.
me and my kids watched it.
Love that show.
And
It's so trashy. I love it.
yeah, I love it. So the second to last episode, I literally was like, I want that guy.
Yeah, they're so hot. It's unreal. They're
But
so.
it was more for the fact that he
Ooh.
had his eye on one girl the
Mhm.
entire time. He's like, no,
Sweet.
I want her, and I'm only gonna focus on you, and that's it. And I'm like, do those guys exist?
I
Like,
know. I
I was like,
know. There was there was one like that the first season where I
Yeah.
was like, dude, wake up.
Yeah.
She doesn't want you. Dude, hello, stop. And he was
That's
so
funny.
adorable, but he
Oh,
just wanted this one woman, and I thought that was really sweet.
but she didn't like
But
him.
no, she didn't like it.
Oh. But like,
They paired up well. Like how they ended up
oh,
pairing up was good. The first
yeah,
season, I think it could only have gone the way that it did go.
yeah,
Because people are attracted to the type that they are. Like that
mhm,
is
yeah,
a thing that exists.
yeah. Like
And
you
like I don't
can't.
believe in types. Like
Yeah.
I only like this type, like because I'm not that way, and I'm sure many people aren't. But like at the same time, like jocks hang out with jocks. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I'm not saying jocks can't, date librarians. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Yeah.
that is not probably going to happen. It's just not going to happen as much as jocks, dating other jocks. That's just a thing that happens because you need commonalities. You
You
have to do the same
do.
activities together.
You need commonality. You need to have so like I learned you need to have the same values.
You have to have the same values. Uh-huh.
Like I didn't realize those things. Like I thought that love was enough.
Mm-mm.
And I realized love is not enough. You need same
Mm-mm.
values, same commonalities of things you like to do.
Yeah.
Or at least be open to the other person's hobby and want to
Right.
try it
Right.
or try new things
Right.
together,
Yeah. If you're a blank slate, great. Then you could
Mhm.
just like meld into the other person, but like most people aren't that way. Most people
Yeah.
aren't a blank slate, so like you have to have commonalities unless you
Mhm.
don't ever want to spend time together.
Yeah.
So like you have to have commonalities.
Nice topic. So that makes it
Oh,
interesting.
okay, so if you are looking for a relationship and you go on a date and the person says, I'm not looking for anything, you don't have to see them again. You don't have to meet them where they are because they can't give you what you want.
Mhm.
This is a mistake I made all the time because I would date people who would clearly say, oh, I'm not looking for anything. And I'm not the like not looking for anything type, or at the time I was looking for something particular. So if you're looking for something particular, why are you going to waste your time on people who are telling you that they don't want what you want?
Yeah, like why do we not believe it?
Why do we not believe it? You're not going to turn them around. You're not going to change them. They're not going to fall
Because we
desperately in
feel
love
like we
with
can
you.
change them. We can feel like
Right.
we want them to
I'm
fall in love with
special.
us. Yeah,
You're
we're
going to see how great
special.
I am.
We are special. Yes,
Right.
that's it.
But it has nothing to do with you. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with you. It's that they don't want what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's stupid to say that it's not personal, but it's kind of not personal. It has nothing to do with you.
What other dating things did you learn besides any funny, crazy stories where you're like, I'm out of here?
Oh man. The whole like going halfsies, like I'm into that. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah.
But like I went on a first date once and like the guy just made it clear that he wasn't paying for anything.
Oh, really? Like that's already a turnoff.
It's such a turnoff. And like even me, like a professional person who's like
Yeah,
really
but you don't have to tell
egalitarian
me
and
that, right? You don't have to tell me straight out that this is what.
right. It's just such a turnoff. It's such a turnoff. So like people who are just a little too extra about letting you know what they will and will not pay for, like I'm just not. That's the opposite of generous. Like I don't expect, like I understand it's difficult for a man dating because they may have to spend like hundreds of dollars a week on people they may never see again. If it doesn't work out, like that's a hard thing to bear. I do not envy that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be like so adamant about like your stinginess, it's a turn off. Like no one's gonna want to date you. Like I really do sympathize with having to spend money on people constantly because you're a man. But like that's the only tax in life you have. All the other taxes rest on our shoulders. So like
we have to bear children.
we have to do so many things and we don't get paid for that. So you know what? Just take this one thing and don't be a dick about it. Don't be a dick about it. And you have to decide if that's something that you're okay with. Are you okay with somebody who is stingy? And if you are not okay with somebody who is stingy, then like his character and his ability to make you laugh or whatever, or he's reads 100 books a year. Like, who cares about that if he's
Yeah.
stingy? And you're going to be like, breaking the grocery bill in half every week, or he wants you to pay half the rent when he makes
That
he spends
reminds
more than
me
you.
of the movie. I think it was Joy Luck Club, where the guy
Yes,
that she was dating,
yes,
everything was
yes.
half and half, and their house was so cold, right?
Right, that's the
Yeah.
life for you.
Mhm.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So just really figure out if you're okay with stupid things like that. Like,
Yeah.
it does really reflect a character trait, I think. It does.
It does.
I think being stingy, I'm not saying you have to be the most generous person. You don't have to be the most, on a date with someone you may or may not see again. Like,
Mhm.
I don't expect someone to, like, lay out $500.
Yeah.
I mean, and they shouldn't, they shouldn't. That's a weird thing to do. But on the other hand, if you ask somebody out, like if I ask somebody out, like
Mhm.
I think my obligation is to take care of the date.
Mhm.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Mhm.
I don't know. So you have to decide really, like, how egalitarian you want your relationship to be, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if that person is on board.
Mhm.
I think, and I hear this a lot from my married friends, that, like, my husband doesn't help around the house and he doesn't do this and I have to, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't allow yourself to become the manager of the house, where you are making all the doctor's appointments and you are sweeping and doing the dishes, or like asking him to do the dishes. Like, if he's not an adult, if he's not a participant in the household, like, what is he doing there?
Yeah.
Right? If he can't see that the sink is filled with dishes, he doesn't need your permission to do the dishes.
Yeah.
They're both of your dishes, right?
Yeah.
It's not your job. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to, before you move in with somebody,
Mhm.
this we're skipping quite a few steps in the dating situation. but you have to find this out pretty early on also. Like,
I
is this a
know.
person who is going to share our chores? Is this a person who thinks of me as 100% of a human being, or 70% of a human being? Like, you have to really dig for that information, but
Yeah.
it's worth finding out as soon as you can,
Yeah.
because you are not the house manager. You're not in charge of the laundry. You're not in charge of the floors are clean. You're not in charge if there are dishes in the sink or the dishwasher. Like, I know so many people who act like they don't know how to do things so that their wives will do it. And, like, is that who
Mm.
you're going to marry? You really need to find that shit out right away.
And a lot of people don't. It's funny. There was this guy, there's a friend of a friend who, he was kind of like a male chauvinist, and he expected his wife to do all of those things, right? And so I was like, well, if he wants to be so old school and he wants his wife to do all of those things,
Mm.
technically she should not be out working.
Right. You want to be traditional? I'm quitting
Yeah.
my job.
Yeah. So no, she works full times and she has to do all of that. I was like, so if he was
He
really,
doesn't have to.
yeah. So if he was really
He's
old
choosing to.
school, so I was like, I got you, because like if he was really old school, she should not be working.
Exactly.
She can stay
Exactly.
home and do all of the stuff that he wants her to do. And
Exactly.
but he's like, no, she's got to work. Okay, so you want her to work,
So,
also do all of those things.
and he's married?
And he's married. And
Well,
his wife does everything.
she's agreeing to it, honestly.
Yeah,
She's agreeing to it.
Yeah, at this point, it's a choice.
It's a choice. She's agreeing to it.
It's a choice, exactly. So that's.
But it is good. I mean, sometimes you find yourself in a situation like, you don't know how you got there. 20 years later, you have 2 kids and you're doing all the work. Your husband is watching a football game and you don't know how that happened. I understand that.
Yeah.
To a degree. I don't really, because like, I would never allow myself to get to that point, but I do understand, because I've seen it so many times. And
yeah, because once you have kids and then you feel like, oh well,
that's it. I can't leave. Like,
but that's
how am I going to support?
They have 2 kids.
Right. I get it. I totally get it. But the key is to figure that shit out before you have kids with somebody.
Yeah.
Are they going to pick up after themselves? You have to have conversations. Like, don't be afraid to ask people, like, do you believe in housework for men? And if you don't, then you leave that relationship. Like, why is that so hard for women to do?
I wonder, if like people had like a functional, healthy household and functional, healthy parents.
Right. If you don't see that, you don't have a model for it.
Yeah.
I've only learned it because I got old on my own, right? Like, I recognize that I don't want the models I've seen in my family, even the extended family. I can't think of one relationship in my extended family where I want to model.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
one. They're
Mhm.
all like crazy. They all
Yeah.
like all of the women are like dour and downtrodden and doing all the housework, and the men are like sitting around rubbing their bellies. That's like every relationship in my family. So like I never had a good model. So like I knew I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want that.
Yeah. So we know what we don't want,
Mhm,
but like if you've always seen that and felt it, like to
mhm.
have like something healthy come along, like
Right, right,
you know what that feels like, and does that feel
right.
familiar to you because it
Because you
maybe
don't
felt like it.
recognize it.
Yeah, you don't
You don't even
recognize.
recognize it
Mm-hmm.
for what it is
Yeah.
because it's just so out of your realm of normal
Mm-hmm.
that like a
That
normal
yeah, like
person.
because then you might be like, oh well, he's too nice, or maybe it's weird
Right.
or something. It just doesn't feel exactly the same. Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you.
I was like, bless you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Um, right.
I always
What was
like
the last
I
thing you
always
said?
edit out like all of my like
Oh,
whatever.
good.
I always make these sounds all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, this sounds terrible. Let me edit it out.
That's great. No, that's great that you can do that because
Yeah.
they're like a split second. They're like a half second of noises. So
Yeah.
that's a challenge.
Yeah. So it's hard if I do it and then someone's talking and then I'm like, oh crap, I gotta cut out what they just
Right.
said because I'm clearing my throat.
Oh God. Yeah. So it's tough to see that, but I think that people who are dating now need to bring it up as soon as possible
Yes.
so that you don't like repeat like what the dynamic of your parents or your aunties or whatever. Yeah, you need to talk about that shit. You need to talk about everything, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
like
you need to talk about
that's
all
what
of your values.
I was trying to like as I'm learning these things, I try to tell my kids. I'm like, okay, kids, and they just look at me like, whatever, mom, because they're like
Right, right,
they're 11 and 13, and
right,
my son's going to
right.
be 12 soon next month. So
Wow.
he's having a growth spurt, and he's getting into the place of like, voicing his opinions more now, so
Wow. Okay.
and I just want to let them know the things that I've learned. I'm like, listen, if you ever when you start, thinking about these things, here are the things that I've learned. So I tell them, they're probably like, whatever.
Wow.
But I'm like, listen,
No,
values.
they're listening. They're absorbing it.
Yeah. I'm like values, lifestyle, and then I'll tell them like, what are values? You want to have kids or you don't want to have kids, religion, all of that, and like,
Exactly.
so I'm
Even
trying
how
to,
you handle money. How do you look at money?
yeah. And
And
I'm always talking about money. I'm like, listen, you
right,
need to save money because one, what's the first thing you're gonna need? You're gonna need a car because you need to get a
right.
job, and you need to know
Exactly.
how to budget. You need to pay your rent, get real estate, get stocks. So like, I've used some of their piggy bank money and put it into like stocks for them, and they'll ask like how it's doing.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's so great. That's so great. That's so great.
So I'm trying to implement the things that I think are super important. I'm like, listen, get it real estate, invest your money, get a car, start a business now. I'm like, you're so young now, start a business now. Like,
Right, right. Wow.
whatever it is that you like doing, it can be anything, even social media stuff. You can
Of
start
course. Yeah.
and something else.
Yeah. We ended up talking about
Deal
like,
breakers.
yeah, deal breakers. Yeah, deal breakers are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love deal breakers, like, because it really is like applying for a job where what you're doing is you're weeding out people you definitely don't want, and it
Yeah.
makes the process easier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Deal breaker.
So, like deal breakers are people who are too religious. Like I
Yep.
am not a religious person, so if you are too religious, or even slightly religious, I kind of like I don't have the temperament for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to church with you. I'm not going to listen to your nonsense about
Yeah.
like, God knows and mysterious thing, like whatever. I'm not going to be able to live with that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But that's good
So
though. Now you're getting to the point where
I know. Oh yeah,
what
absolutely
you
no.
like and don't like.
I do. I do. I do. I don't have time for bullshit, but I also don't want anything. Like I'm at
Yeah.
the point where like, that's cool if that never happens because like, I don't ever have to compromise anything. I
Yeah.
don't have to like think about someone else's opinions for my
Yeah.
next trip. I could go to whatever hotel I want to. If I just want to stay at a cafe all day, I can do like I don't have to compromise anything
Yeah.
with anyone. And I
Mhm.
love that. I love
Yeah.
it. I can't imagine giving that up. I
Mhm.
can't. I
That's
can't imagine.
great. That's great. And this is what you like and this is what makes you happy. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what society thinks. It doesn't matter what other people think.
Absolutely.
Whatever makes you happy. Like that is the whole point
Agreed.
of all of it
Agreed.
now. Like do whatever the hell makes you happy because
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like if people want relationships, you should seek that, right?
Yeah,
Like you should take
yeah.
it seriously. I get it. I get it. But if you don't, like, you don't have to. You really don't have to do that. You don't have to be with anybody.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can
Do whatever.
do whatever. Do whatever. It works for me. I love it. It works for me. So you don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What are what are things that you're doing now that you are enjoying that makes you happy?
I'm learning Spanish.
That's great. Are you I remember last time we talked, you said you were thinking about getting your doctorate.
I am. I never looked into that.
Just want to follow up because that was like one of your things you were thinking
You're
about.
totally right. And I still think about it. I have one particular like master's to PhD program in my head in Pennsylvania where they will basically give you a PhD for free, but you have to teach a course every semester as you're going through the program.
Mm-hmm.
But I may have to move to Pennsylvania for it, which I don't think I want to do. But if they're going to give me a free PhD, then maybe I will.
You're in Texas.
I know. I might like it. I might like it. I might like it. So
yeah, I mean,
nothing's off the
if you
table.
like Texas, maybe you'll like Pennsylvania.
Exactly. So yeah, I have looked into.
Did you watch that video I sent you with Gabor Mate?
I did. Okay, I got to the point where he was talking about like how stress can really affect you, and that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
That made a lot of real sense to me. Like how it can make you physically sick. Like all of these things are connected, and like doctors will give you steroids for like this inflammation and that inflammation, and like that's all stress related.
Yeah.
All of these autoimmune diseases are stress related. That really, I never heard anyone say that before, so that made a lot of sense. Like when you like line up the logic, it made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, because he's connecting, Western and Eastern, all of it, because like, our health system is just like, let's just treat the disease and the cause of it, whatever. But you're not really
the symptoms,
figuring out where it's stemming from. And most of the stemming is what he's saying, where basically the way we're going to live our life now, being more authentic and giving zero fucks about things will really keep us healthy. Right.
You have to do the things you love. And
so we need to be more selfish. Maybe we need to turn into narcissistic, selfish assholes. And
what's wrong with that, right? You could be as narcissistic as you want, as long as you're not hurting other people.
Exactly. Just don't hurt other people.
Just don't hurt other people. I'm a big fan of that. Like, what's the problem with that?
Yeah, as long as you're honest.
Right.
As long as you're honest, transparent, and not hurting someone else, because
And it's great. Be as narcissistic as you want to be. Why not? Why not?
Don't lie about it.
Just don't lie about it. Be who you are. Be upfront. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of just being a selfish jerk. Why not?
Okay, so you're learning Spanish. What else? What else are you doing to bring you joy?
I got a new bicycle. I love my bike. It's really great. I'm trying to ride it more often, but the development I live in, it's like 4 or 5 blocks. It's like a small, and then right outside it connects to a highway. So I can't really ride it outside of my development.
Okay.
Which is fine because you can ride in circles around here because it's like hills and then low, and like, so it's still really fun, even though it's a short distance of actually riding.
So you can just do like a track. You just
exactly. So I use it like a track, and I just keep like doing circles, and it's really fun because there's slopes and hills in this small development, and man, there's nothing like a road bike that's really light on a hill, and you're just flying down the hill. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Oh yeah,
it's really fun. So I love it.
That's awesome.
And I just want to travel as much as possible. So I'm always thinking about my next trip. I'm always like looking for airline deals and like hotel deals.
That's like, great. What is your next couple places that you want to go to?
I'm planning a trip in February to Italy.
Ooh.
And I want to go. I promised my niece when she graduates from high school, I'll take her to Japan. That's where she wants to go. I'll let her pick the place, and I thought she would pick like Paris or someplace easy.
Yeah.
She picks Japan.
Mhm.
I've never been to Japan, so like
Oh,
now I
perfect.
have to prepare,
Yeah,
which
so
is
you should
fine.
learn some Japanese.
I have to learn some Japanese along with learning Spanish.
Mhm.
And we're gonna do that probably over the summer.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah,
have you been to Italy?
I haven't.
So perfect.
I know I can't believe I haven't been there yet, but I haven't.
Mhm.
So I'll probably do like 3 cities, so it's not too
Yeah.
crazy. I'll do like
Yeah.
Rome and Venice and I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
Milan.
Mhm.
Just to keep it like doable
Yeah.
and not too long. I don't want to be there too long because it's February. It's gonna be
Yeah.
cold.
So what are you gonna go for, like 2 weeks or
Yeah, something like that.
2 weeks?
Nothing too crazy.
Mhm.
Because my sister's taking care of my cat, and I don't want her to take care of my cat for more than like 10 days or something.
Okay.
But she could do it. It doesn't affect her life at all. But I just don't think it's right to, you know what I'm saying?
Because you feel bad.
I feel bad. I feel bad. Right. So like being a narcissist, doing what I want, but not being a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, not being a
Don't
jerk
hurt
about
other
it.
people for too long, like 10 days.
Right. Don't
That's
right.
it.
Don't overstay your welcome. Don't mistreat people's kindness. Just
Etiquette. That's another topic of
etiquette.
You
Just
need to have
basic
etiquette.
politeness. My
Yeah.
goodness. So many people don't have it. So many people don't have it. And it just runs the gamut between generations. It has nothing to do with being young or old. It's just like everyone.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't have any idea how to behave,
Yeah.
are just rude or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, not considerate. It's a lack of consideration.
Yeah. So they must have not been taught that, maybe, I guess, at home.
Right. Or they don't care or
Or they
something.
just,
I don't get it.
I mean, it's gotta stem from home, no? You're learning it from your
Yeah.
parents, or your parents spoil you
Right.
and they give you whatever you want, and you feel entitled, or you just were immigrant and you didn't learn those kind of etiquette skills.
Right. It is cultural. It is cultural.
It's cultural or generational, or your
It comes from a
entitlement.
lot of different places. I think it can come out for different reasons. Like
Yeah.
for me, I think I started out as a considerate person because I'm a people pleaser.
Yes.
Because I was always
I'm a
like,
recovering people pleaser.
Right, exactly. I'm a recovering people pleaser. Like I always want to be nice, want to make sure people like me. Like, was that the right thing to say? Was that the wrong thing to say?
It's like the hypervigilance of it.
Right, it's the hypervigilance of behavior constantly. So like now that I'm like a more chill person and I'm aware that I have these tendencies, I'm still a considerate person because I think it's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't overdo it. I'm not like, it's sometimes okay to just like not say thank you 3 times. You can just say it once and you're fine.
Sorry.
So what are your deal breakers? Do you have deal breakers?
I'm sure I have a lot. I'm sure I have a lot. I think I just don't know. I'm still evolving, so I'm not fully like there to like stand by all of them, but obviously someone super religious, like I can't do because I'm
right.
Like I believe in spirituality of like there's something, I don't know what to me is more mother nature than anything else.
Right. Okay.
But I do feel like, gut instincts and spirits and this, like I do have those little things, but I don't believe in this like one person. So I don't think I can deal with somebody who's super, super religious.
Right. So like maybe someone who's into organized religion isn't for you.
Yeah. No, I think you would have to be more open-minded of spirituality, of like, a free thinker, someone who's very open-minded.
Yeah.
And someone who's self-sufficient, who's got his shit together, I think, who knows how to communicate, who's emotionally like developed.
Yes.
Emotional development, I think, is very important these days to me.
It's so important. It's
gotta
so
have
important.
good social skills, just a well.
Yeah, people who are just like sort of rude, it's just they're weird. Like like this.
But etiquette's definitely one of, like, if he doesn't have good etiquette, oh no.
It's a big thing, and it's such a good indication of what to expect, because eventually that rudeness is going to be directed to you. Yeah. It's only a matter of time. It's definitely going to happen for sure.
Yeah, like someone who's rude to waiters or delivery people or thing like
deal breaker.
That's a huge deal breaker, because then you already know that they're assholes.
how can you, oh, it's such a turn off.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? Who do
Mhm.
you think you are? Who do you think you
Yeah.
are? It's so
That's
grotesque.
definitely a deal breaker.
Yeah, they're always so far there have been no exceptions to this rule, but every single person I know or I have dated that has been rude to retail workers or wait staff or any kind of service industry, they've always turned out to be awful people.
So that's a huge
Always.
red flag deal breaker right
Yes, always. It's
there. Yeah.
there's seriously no exception. I can't think of one exception
Yeah.
where it's proven me wrong. That is a theory that I stand by.
Yeah.
Because
That one I
eventually,
definitely, yeah, that one I realized that later on though, you know. I didn't know.
right,
But I think I was just making excuses for people all the time before, just being
right.
a good girl, people pleaser, just agreeing like, oh, they didn't mean it. Oh, they were having a
Right.
bad day, or you just overlook
Right.
it because you
You
think that
overlook it because it's
you
not
overlook it.
directed at you,
Yeah, because you
too.
think
You're
that
like,
love is enough, and
right,
they're
who am
giving
I to
you
judge?
attention. Hmm.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
more. Yeah, no
That's
more.
never good. It's a bad sign. It's a
Yeah,
really bad sign because it just shows you they think they're better than other people,
yeah. And then
you know?
why would you act like that? Like, no,
Right,
just
right. And
pick on
also,
me.
thinking you're better than other people is also like a cover for insecurity. So it's like
Yes.
layered. Like the
Yeah.
problem there is layered and you're not going to get through to it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like it's like insecurity having to prove yourself and also like underneath this layer of thinking you're better than other people.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's a contradiction of sorts,
Hmm.
right? And it's like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
That's too
Like,
much.
exactly. And like racism too. Like you can be
No,
like a different nationality and still have racism, you know, too. Like
absolutely.
no race, you
Yeah.
can't be racist.
All right. Yeah. That's a good deal breaker.
Yeah,
Racism.
you can't be
Absolutely not.
racist. Someone who likes to travel, because I would like to travel.
Right. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
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 That sounds like a good list.
Hmm.
That's a good list for sure.
That's a good start to it.
Do you like someone who's into sports or no? Or it doesn't matter?
Um, I mean, I like to do outdoorsy thing, but I'm not like crazy about it. Like, you know, I like to play
Okay.
tennis if someone knows how to play tennis.
Okay, that's
Um,
cool. What
you
about
know,
somebody who has to go to like every Mets game or something?
I don't like going
Yeah,
to,
I don't like sports. I'm not interested.
I don't like crowds.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. I never knew that about you.
So like
Because you're so social. I would never know that.
I'm a
Oh,
super introverted person.
that you're blowing my mind.
But do you know that it's really hard for me to get on these podcasts?
Interesting. I mean, it is for me too. Like throughout the day, I wanted to cancel, not because I
Yeah.
don't want to see you and talk to you, but because
Yeah.
I have these issues, right?
Yeah.
I have
No,
these issues.
but like Susie, I have the same issues. So
Right. Yeah. We're
every
so
time
similar.
before a podcast, I am tired. I
Yeah.
don't think I have the energy because
Me too.
you literally have to gather yourself together. That's how I have to do it. I have to gather myself together and get
Mhm.
ready.
Me too. I have to like give myself a pep talk.
Yeah.
You could do it. You
Yeah.
love Linda. You want to catch up. You could do it.
Yeah.
That's what I had
No,
to do.
but that's how I feel every time I have to do a podcast.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you do
Yeah.
this like pretty often, correct?
Well, I have certain people that I do weekly because I don't have to worry about interviewing them. We just have
Okay.
conversations, and the
Right.
conversations always flow into something else, like us, like we'll just talk.
Right.
So like
Okay.
Sunrise, I do a podcast weekly. Schiavo, I do a podcast weekly. And then I just added one more person weekly. Someone I actually met at Sunrise's ladies lunch. She was
Mhm.
also abused at, you know, when she was younger.
Oh my God.
So since she was so open with me, I felt like I could be able to help her by having conversations with her, because I'm a little
Wow.
more down the line of my evolution of talking about it. So I've finally gotten to the point where I can talk about it and not hysterically cry about it.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
so
That's
it
a
took
really big deal,
huge.
honestly.
It took me a year to finally get to that point.
Right. Okay.
So then I started basically, to me, I told her, like, listen, to me, it's like podcast therapy to me, like doing
Mhm.
podcasts and to sit on the couch and look at yourself on a giant 54-inch
Right. Right.
TV. You literally have an outer body
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
But like I told her, it's so worth it because after a year later, I actually like myself more.
That's beautiful.
Like I've actually
That's so
grown
beautiful.
into my skin more, just watching myself and editing them and then figuring out what to
That's so
say, or
beautiful.
just like enjoying my voice more and be able to talk and like stand
Yeah.
up for myself and like myself more. So I
Yeah.
offered
It gives
that
you
to her.
confidence. It gives you
Yes.
confidence.
So I offered it to her, and so we're doing week 3 of these weekly podcast therapy, and she's loving it, and she's super scared to. Same thing with us, like to go on, like we're
Right, right. It takes me so like
yeah,
I wait till the last minute. Like, okay, you got to put makeup on, and I
yeah,
was waiting till like the
yeah,
absolute last minute to do
yeah.
that. It's just so
But
stressful.
like that's who I am too. So like even
Right,
though I do these podcasts, I'm an introvert. Like even to do these is really hard for me. Like every day
right.
that I have an appointment to do it, I literally probably have like anxiety of like, oh my God, let me get myself together, let me get ready. And I think I had this conversation with my sister once because she couldn't
Mhm.
understand why I was so nice to other people, but then I was home and then I'll be a completely different person. I'm like, you don't
Mm.
understand that I actually have to get myself together and put a mask on and like
Right,
be this
right,
other person where I have to be outgoing and I have to talk and I have to do all this thing. But when I'm home, like I don't want to do anything. Like,
right. I can finally just be
yeah,
comfortable.
around. And then I realized like I also have like part of that ADHD and
Right.
like, all
I
these
feel like I should get diagnosed. I feel like
yeah, yeah.
I
Like I
can't
am
remember
not
anything.
diagnosed, but I know I probably have
Right,
PTSD,
right. I'm
ADHD,
also not diagnosed, but I feel like I definitely
depression, yeah, like traumatic, I have post-traumatic stress. I have like
for
a little
sure.
bit of everything.
Hmm.
But I'm not diagnosed, but I know, like you just
You
know,
know,
you know.
you know.
People like, did you talk to someone? I'm like, listen, I know the shit that I've been through and the way I act.
Right.
Like, I
You
don't
know.
need someone to tell
I feel
me.
like women are underdiagnosed because like we always just somehow work our lives out. Like we just keep working through it.
Yeah.
Um, but it could help me and you to get a diagnosis, and like maybe we might need medication to get like I have procrastination issues. I have like focus
Mhm.
issues. I love reading, and sometimes I'll be reading and I'm like reading the same sentence over and over again. And I'm like, why am I doing that? What is going on here? Why is
But
it not
yeah, I
in
would
my
do that at
brain?
work where things
Right.
are not
Definitely at work.
clicking and I would have to read it
Definitely at
over and
work.
over and I would like forget things. It would take me longer to do something.
For sure. Yeah.
It gets
That sounds
worse,
like it, honey.
but also gets worse as you stay home.
Right. Right.
So I
Yeah.
think I'm getting worse.
Right. Okay. All right. So you are doing the Airbnb thing.
Yes.
That's working out. That's cool.
Yes. It's working out. I'm totally broke, but
Oh no. Like it gives you enough, right?
yeah, yeah, it gives
Okay.
me
That's
enough.
great.
And then I'm trying to find like other small sources of like freelance work.
Okay.
And so I pick up a little bit here and there, but right now, like I'm getting to the point where like I need to make some money.
I see. Okay. So are you thinking about a full-time job again?
No, unless I can stay home, but I don't want full
Right.
time. I think I want something part time
Mm-mm-mm. Okay.
because like I have 2 kids. Like I'm
Right.
exhausted. Like I'm fucking cooking all day long. Like
Got
I'm
it.
exhausted thinking about cooking. Like I'm
Hmm.
tired. Um, it's I think part time would be good because
Right.
when I was let go of my job, I was such in that rat race for so long and running on
Right.
like major 1,000 miles an hour.
For
Once I
sure.
stopped, like now I have zero fucks.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I love that.
I,
I love
so
that.
I didn't think I can get to this point where I don't give a fuck about all of it now.
Right. Right.
So I just need something just to pay my bill. I'm happy as long as I can pay my bills.
Exactly. That's all you need. That's
And I'm
really all
built
you
like
need.
my other passion is like I do enjoy hearing these stories of people and doing
Hmm.
it, and the creative part of editing and putting it out there. It's just hard for me to get on the and talk and
Right. Right.
orchestrate the conversations and
Right. I
question.
mean, you can market those editing skills as video editing skills and maybe
Yes.
get a part-time editing job,
Yeah.
or some sort of graphics editing situation. I mean, you can look on, we
Fiverr.
can talk about this later, but like you could
Fiverr.
definitely do that. You could
Yeah.
definitely do that.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is just that I edit all day long. My hand
Mhm.
is killing me. So that's
You
really
don't want to do that, but
it's
you'd
really
have to sacrifice the podcast. Like you couldn't do both. You couldn't
yeah.
do it for money and also the podcast. Like one
Yeah,
would have to go.
yeah, because like before when I was working full time, I was also doing fashion part
Mhm.
time at home. So then my arm was so fucked up because I would always be
Right,
on the computer all day long. And so I
right.
felt like there's certain places I travel to where I'm like, I could live here. I love it.
Yes. It's
You know,
special. This feels
it's
like a
like
place.
something, unless like I lived there another lifetime and I just love it. Like I love
Right.
Paris.
Say it again.
I love Paris. Like
Oh
Paris.
yeah. It's hard to not like Paris.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who doesn't like Paris. Like
Yeah, like Paris to me was amazing. And I was
it's
only there
great.
for like 2 days.
It's so great. Like I am like a Paris evangelist. I'm like, you need to go to Paris. That's what you need to do to get your life in
Yeah.
order. Go to Paris.
Paris was great. And I haven't been to Italy. I want to go to Italy. I
Yeah.
haven't been to Japan. I haven't been to a lot of other places, but I want to. Like, so I definitely need someone who
Right.
wants to travel,
I also want to go to like Hong Kong and Beijing. I've never been
Mhm.
anywhere in China. So if you have any tips to share, I would love.
No, I don't. Because I don't.
No.
If I ever go to China, I need someone Chinese to go with me because I don't speak Mandarin.
Okay. So the dominant language is Mandarin, and you
Mandarin,
speak
yeah.
Cantonese.
No,
Is-
I speak
Oh,
Fuzhou.
but I mean, I would always hear you talk to your mom in the restaurant.
Fuzhou.
Oh,
So it's a
I
dialect. So they
I
know
see.
Mandarin, they know Cantonese, and they only spoke Fuzhou, which is the small dialect.
Okay. Is
So
this
I don't
similar to either of them? No way. Okay. All right.
completely different.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
it's not useful unless you're going to Fuzhou.
I see. Interesting. That is
Yeah.
super interesting. Okay. So
And
you would be just like me going to
yeah,
China.
exactly. So I need someone
Okay.
Chinese to go to China. I do want to go to China because I want to go do the tourist things that I never did.
Right.
Because I've been to China, but I went 2 times for funerals,
Right. So it's
time for
never
my
fun.
mom dying, and then another time for work. So I've never been there for like pleasure. So I do
Right.
want to go
Right.
to like the Great Wall, do some like
Right.
touristy stuff, but it has to be with the Chinese person.
Right. Totally get that. I totally understand that. I mean, I expect to go and just not understand anybody. I fully understand, but I'm going to go there and I'm not going to know what anybody's saying. I'm
Yeah.
going to get lost and it's going to be fun. Like I don't mind
Yeah.
getting lost. Like I'm that kind of
Well,
traveler.
most of the people, I'm sure most of the people would learn. They probably know some English or they have the app.
Right. Right.
At least,
And you know, I have
everybody has an app.
on my stupid phone. I'll just like type in what I'm saying and like do my best.
Yeah.
You know, what can you do? What can
Yeah.
you do? You can't keep yourself home because you don't speak every language. Like that's
Yeah.
not feasible. That's not a way to, whatever. So I'm just gonna go places. I don't care. If I
You
see
just
like
go and you have your
just go.
phone and you have the Google Translate.
Exactly, I'm a Google Translate. I'll do my best.
Mhm.
What's the only thing that I really need to communicate is that I don't eat meat. So when I go to a restaurant, I need to know how to say I'm vegetarian. So like
Maybe you
that's
should have like a
first
little
phrase.
picture. No meat. No
Right. Yeah.
shrimp,
So I
no
write
whatever.
it out, or
Yeah.
I have it on a notes on my phone so that I know how to say it. Every city I go to, if I go to another country and the dominant language is not English, I have to make sure ahead
Yeah.
of time that I learn how to say I am vegetarian. I
Yeah.
don't eat meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so you have to learn some key phrases that will keep you alive. When you travel to a country
Yeah.
that your language is the dominant language.
Hmm.
Yeah, you should learn some key phrases. I
Yeah.
highly recommend that. So yeah, I expect to be lost. I expect to not know what people are saying. And I think that's part of the experience of
Yeah.
traveling, right?
Yeah.
Like you just get lost. You are mentally lost as well. And that's fine. That's totally fine with me.
So
I
did
like
you
it.
go to Mexico like a solo trip as well?
Yeah, I always travel alone. I never invite anybody. I love it. I'm like, you're not allowed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. This is a
I
solo
never
trip.
travel with people. I think road trips are good with people, but I think for me, I like to just do things that I want to do. I pick like 1 or 2 major things that I want to do for the day. I go and do those things and I bullshit in between.
Yeah.
I walk around. I also like walking a lot. And a lot of people don't like walking for miles. And I
Yeah.
understand that. But
Yeah.
that means that I can't travel with other people because I just
Yeah.
I want to see the city, how
You want
normal
to see it.
people,
Yeah.
how I want to see it. And I want to walk through a city. I just want a walkable city. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I go everywhere by myself because I like to go at my own pace and I
That's
like to
great.
walk
So
a lot.
did you always like more alone time?
Always. always. My first international trip, I went alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always known that. Like I operate really well
Alone.
on my own.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm sure it's like a control issue. I'm not good with compromising. I do not enjoy the like, well, let's go eat here and let's go.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, bitch, I'm going here. This is
were you always like that, or
I wonder if I was always like that. I think I've always been particular.
Mhm.
I've always been very picky and particular, and I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, when you live in a big family, you have to compromise. You don't have a choice. But once I was able to travel on my own,
Mhm.
it never occurred to me that I should invite other people.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a nightmare to me. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I
Other
guess
people are normal.
Guess having to compromise too much in the family, you're like, no, now I need my own time. I want to do my own things.
Right. That's how it works for me. I'm not saying that's the best way. Like you do it how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that works for me. I enjoy that. It never occurs to me to ask another person if they want to go on a trip with me.
Yeah.
It's never.
Well, whatever makes you happy. If you like, some people like more alone time to do more trips, and it helps center you probably to do.
Absolutely. I get the best out of it that way because I'm not focusing on another person, because I also have to be mindful of my like people pleasing tendencies, right? So I might, you know, defer to someone else's desires when we're on a trip, because like I like to keep the peace. It's totally fine. No big deal. Oh, you want burgers? Okay, let's go there. Like maybe I don't want burgers, you know? So like I could take that out of the equation. I don't have to worry about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just more fun for me because I can just do whatever I want.
And you don't get lonely on the.
Not at all.
That's great.
Not at all. I only get lonely when I'm like in the airport and I want someone to watch my bag.
Okay.
So I have to take my bag everywhere with me. So like that's a selfish loneliness. That's not a real loneliness.
Sound like you're lonely there.
It's not lonely. Okay, that's the wrong word.
You're lonely there. Can you just watch my bag?
Right.
I'm lonely.
So I have to take my bags everywhere with me, in the airport, or you know, I can never just, or even just like eating in a cafe. I have to take all of my shit with me to the bathroom or whatever. You know, no one can share the load. No one's at the table with me. Got to take all my shit with me. So that's the only drawback.
You have to be a good packer.
I got to be a good packer, which I still like. As much as I travel, I'm still really bad at packing. I still like overpack. I still overpack. It's crazy. I haven't learned. I don't know. It's like I overpack because I think that I'm gonna need this party outfit, right? Like I'm not going anywhere. Like even if I'm going to the mountains, I'm gonna need this like a little black dress, right?
You never know if you need that little black dress. I
mean, it's insane. It's perfectly insane.
I mean, at least it's small, so it can fit into any suitcase.
Right. It's not the black dress. It's like the shoes that go with it, right?
Yeah. Well, you might have to go out if you need an outfit.
Right. So I overpack. I bring too many outfits, and I have not learned how to stop doing that. So that's the only.
I do remember you had a lot of stuff.
I have a lot of stuff. I do have a lot, and that hasn't changed. I tried to downsize, you know, every time I move, like I throw a bunch of things out and I let it go. I don't have any emotional attachment to things, which is like the one good thing about it. Yeah. But I like buying things. That hasn't stopped. That hasn't changed.
Hey, at this point, you can do whatever you want. I mean,
right. Like I have nobody to answer to. Like, I don't have to be like, my credit card, but like, I'm the one opening it. I'm the one paying it. So like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
I love it.
I probably do buy too many things, but I buy less, I think, than I used to. Well, I don't know. I'm just making excuses.
Are you making an excuse, Susie?
Yes.
Are you making an excuse trying to make yourself look
I
better?
I am.
Listen, let's just call it. Let's just call each other out.
Right. Yes, I am making excuses. I still buy many things. I buy many things.
Do you buy a lot of things on Amazon or other websites?
Yeah, like I swear to God, I got like an Amazon delivery like twice a week. Like, what am I buying? No,
I had
no idea.
Huge Amazon addiction.
Yeah, it's so easy. They make it too easy.
Way too
Just
easy.
one click.
Yeah.
That's it. I got a whole bunch of things coming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible. It's really terrible. And there's that moment when you buy something where you feel like a rush of emotions or something. Yes. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy.
And then like when you don't get packages, you're like, oh, I don't have a box.
I know, it's fun, right? It's fun to get packages. It's really fun.
And then you start having withdrawals if you don't have a delivery.
Right. Your life isn't fun anymore. Like, what did I buy myself? Ooh.
Yeah, what did I get today?
Like, that sounds like you're really close to a shopping addiction, which I don't think I have. Because
maybe
I
a little one.
I can stop anytime I want. I can stop anytime I want. Okay.
I have a little one, maybe a little one. Maybe.
But anyway, it was good catching up with you briefly, and so good to see you.
I know. Let's think about the next one. Maybe we'll have like something. I'll
something
send you, like,
themey.
Yeah, but you know, obviously, I'm like you. Like, it's hard to get on. Like, I'm always like,
it's hard. It's hard. It is really hard. But at least we're the same.
I don't know if Fridays are better. Like, you think Fridays are better?
It has nothing to do with the day, honestly. It's just like my mental condition of like fighting myself to do things.
No, I'm the same way. So don't worry. Like, when you text me, I was like, is she gonna cancel? It's okay if she cancels.
Right. I told my sister today, I'm like, if she cancels, it's okay, because I don't want to be the one to cancel, because I'm trying to not be that person. I know.
And then when you text me, I was like, she wants to cancel. And I was like, I'm not gonna be the one that cancels. So I'm like, Suzi, I'm ready if you want.
I was so hoping you were gonna be like, oh man, I have a headache today or something.
Suzi, I was waiting for you. I was completely fine. Like, she gonna cancel?
So funny.
Okay, I'll just stay here on the couch and go to sleep. It's like, it's perfectly fine.
That is so funny. That is so, but like, we had a good time. We had a good conversation.
But like, we always have a good time.
We always do.
At least you know that I feel the same way, where it's hard to get on.
Yes, I'm glad you know that about me too.
Because like, you have to actually turn your personality back on. You're like, okay, I'm tired all day. I've been doing shit. I don't
exactly. I'm like staring at a computer all day, and like maybe a weekend is better. But I know that you're at home with your kids on the weekend, so like,
no, I can do weekends.
Maybe a weekend might be better for me, because I won't feel as tired because I stare at a computer all day long.
Yeah, like usually at this time, I am tired and I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
Well, not going to sleep, but I'm just tired. I just don't want to do it.
Right. Totally. Yeah. And like maybe during sunlight hours, because it gets dark earlier because it's the winter. So like, you know, like 2, 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday or Sunday would be really great, because I would feel more awake and the sunshine is invigorating and blah, blah, blah.
Let's aim for that, and let's pick a topic.
Okay. That's great.
So now we know like our issues.
Yes.
So we can work around it. So I am totally fine not doing it on a weekend, like a weekday this time, because I'm tired. And
that's so good to know. I was not going to be the one to cancel. I felt so bad. I mean, I didn't need to cancel. It was just like, anyway, you got to go, and we'll talk soon.
No, but that's me too. Like, I didn't need to cancel either, but I wasn't going to. But when I saw the text, I knew you wanted to. I knew you wanted to, but I was like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to cancel. If she wants to cancel, let me go ahead.
That's so funny. We're the exact same person.
Yes.
We're the same person. I love that. Okay.
All right. I love you, dear. I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later. Bye. I love you a lot.
Like, finally getting back to me, you know, my art. All I want to do is art. And the other thing is that I love stories. So like, to me, art is in everything. Your art is your voice, your speaking, your connection. You know, you can feel everyone's energy. That's your art. It's the art of living to me. So art and hustle to me is the art of living, and art of it and everything.
I hope that you've cut that piece right there and make it your intro and your outro, because that was dope.
I remember when.
Yep.
I remember when. I dropped the first one. That's what I just keep thinking about mine. Like, I remember when I did the first one, and I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, what do I ask and what do I do? And then I was just like, the first one, it will always look different from the 100th.
Yeah.
Right? It'll grow, it'll evolve. But if we spend all of our time wondering, oh, is someone going to like it? Oh, is someone having unrealistic expectations for that thing?
Yeah.
And we'll always be in that same space, never moving, never growing. and never really fulfilling our purpose and our dreams.
Yeah, people get stuck on it, but you just have to try it and go. And to the, like you just said, you said like, oh, the 100th one's not going to look like the first one. So I'm happy to say that I'm almost to my 100th one.
Are you really?
Yes.
What?
Crazy? Yeah, I'm almost.
That is crazy.
I'm almost to the 100th one. So
you have to do like a montage of like some of your best like snippets from what people said and like clip them all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Emergence of whatever it evolves into.
And look, you're on the second podcast.
Here I am.
We're gonna do more of these, and we're gonna see the light start coming out, and you know, the epiphanies more come out.
Oh my God. It's just like when I walked into the room, I was like, Art and Hustle is in the house.
I love it. I love it. I love it when you came out to you're like, oh my God, like so happy to see you. I just watched your podcast and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And it just kind of put a battery in my back, you know? And I was like, look at this woman.
I love it. I love it.
She's talking about her 100th episode. Like, geez, you know, having similar experiences, it really made me feel like I was, I'm in the right place.
Welcome to my first ever podcast.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored to be the first one. I took a job that allowed me to stay home, and it was a home job, and I was selling motivational speakers.
Yes, I remember that. I
did that for 6 years.
Wow.
Don't do that. Don't go against what you know you love to do. I learned that, and I don't regret it, but I know that I can confidently tell artists if what speaks to you is to create and make stuff, don't give up on it for 1 second. Like,
so do you think you lost part of yourself in those 6 years?
100%, like 100%. I've been working my way back ever since then. I wanted to explore, and so now I can confidently say like it did happen for a reason, and I have gained some sureness. Is that a word? I don't know.
Like, sure, we're artists, we can make up any word we want.
So I'm 100% sure now that I need from my soul, you need art, you need to be creative, you need to be into fashion or whatever it is, right? It's part of your soul. I need it to live, I need it to breathe. And if I can't create what I enjoy, then everything else falls apart, you know, because I can't be my best self. So
there's so many people that, you know how people say lost in translation?
Yes.
I think there are people who are lost in transformation.
Yes, everybody.
You know what I mean? Like, I think people get stuck, in the transformation process.
Yeah, because you're in shit.
Oh my God, it's so messy. And you're like, we just lose our crap because it's almost like, this can't happen to me. This shouldn't be happening to me. Why me? Why me? Why me?
Yeah.
And then we start throwing tantrums inside of the transformation, right?
Yes.
Because we don't want it. And so this, you know, it's about this divine chaos that I've always talk about. Right? And I just want to put, that's my term, copywritten it all. Divine,
I love
divine chaos.
You know,
right?
one of my art shows was Controlled Chaos.
Really?
Yes. I did a series 1, 2, and 3 of Controlled Chaos art shows.
That is.
Well, we always have like synchronicity. So I had to stop you there for a second. I'm like, you know, I love that, right? Because I did a version of it too, because I love the contradiction of things, you know, like, like the beautiful oblivion, controlled chaos, like beautiful mess, like all of it.
Because it's real. God, I love this. It's really all about our perception of.
True. And that is, I gave the permission.
Yes.
You guys.
That is it.
I said, yeah, I was the one adult who would say, It's okay.
Yes, that is the
can do
perfect
what you
word
got.
that you just said. You gave us
I
permission.
gave you permission. I gave you permission to be
Yep,
yourselves,
yep,
whatever that was.
yep.
And I
Yeah. So, yeah, but it was so incredible. I feel honored to be part of Art and Hustle. Like, I think
You're part of the Art Hustle family.
well, and remember we were in Brooklyn. I think it was your second Art and Hustle show, and it was like that. That place was packed.
It was, and every show that I honestly from day one where I curated my show was packed. So to me, like I was super honored that I was able to pull it off because, like, to me, like I've never curated an art show or planned like anything like that to that extent, but I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. Like it was like back to back people were packing in there.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. The body painting, the different types of art, the mixed media, the paintings. Yeah, it was pretty fabulous. So, oh my gosh, Linda.
I think if I may be so bold as to pass judgment on you, I'm glad you're out of the corporate world.
Yeah.
I think you are doing more good with these podcasts and connecting people, you connecting with them, people connecting with each other. Mm-hmm. And your art is still always there. And that is something that you are so skilled and talented with that may not have shined as it should have when you were in corporate.
Yeah.
And now Linda's beauty is surfacing, that unpacking, it's all coming out. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking about. I wrote a poem a couple of years ago. It was called I Am Not Invisible, because I started to feel that way. Yeah. I started to feel like I was shrinking and disappearing and evaporating into nothing. Wow. And it was a depressive feeling.
Depressing. It's depressing, like the darkness that overtakes you.
Yeah. And I think that you with the podcast, me with the book, and the connections that have come from this newly written thing, now not only creates a new piece of me and who I am, but it's also a more peaceful part of me.
Yes.
And it's like, the movie Waiting to Exhale. I can exhale now because so much of this stuff is now out there.
Yeah, I'll be able to, I think I should work on the book would be the first thing I would have to do.
I don't know. I was kind of going to say that, but I figured, let me just.
I feel like that has to be something that has to happen. The notable quotable book has to happen because that'll be more related to art and lessons and quotes. So I feel like those two things need to happen.
Yes, and we do need to start working on the notable quotables. That's a must.
Yeah.
But I think the book can be healing.
I think it will be.
The writing of it can be cathartic and healing for you.
Yeah, because that's what I've always done. I've always put my pain into art in whatever form that is, from, poetry to paintings to whatever. And this book will be it. So I have to just delve into it. I just don't know where to start. So I haven't started. So it's just formulating in my head. But eventually I just need to get it down on paper.
Well, the number one lesson I learned is that it's always best just to jump in and don't overthink things. Mm-hmm. That was probably the best lesson, because that first one, you and I had talked and you were like, just do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember texting the person, and then my analyzer mind started like, you don't have a date. You don't have a time. Where are you going to do this? Yeah. You don't have a microphone. And I just stopped myself and texted the person and was like, are you available this day and this time? And the person was like, yes. I said, okay, good. You'll do this for me. And after that, like, just sticking with it. So the lesson I learned was sometimes it's just jumping in and not overthinking, because everything's not going to be perfect that first time out.
Yeah.
Conclusion. When you love what you do, I enjoyed myself. That's the part. It doesn't feel like
work.
Yes. It doesn't feel like, I gotta, now the editing, which, that was a whole different.
That's work. That is work. That's why I have like 8 podcasts that I have not edited. They are sitting there in a folder because I'm on my last, you know me, like I kind of crazy when I get into projects, you know what I mean? Like, and I go full force. So I did so many that I'm up to like 100. So like, I need my last, yeah, I'm up to like I'm up to this, the end of the year will be my, you know, I'll be done with 100 episodes. Yeah. So I'm just collecting them. I think I'm just collecting my last 20 and then I'm going to bang them all out probably and then get them all out by the end of the year. But I think I have like,
congratulations. That's
like
dope.
10 or 11 more and then I'll be done with like 100.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like that's, yeah.
It's a huge thing, you know, from someone who never thought that I would be interviewing and talking to people this openly and being so vulnerable. I am Linda Chung. I am kind of a jack of all trades. I do a little bit of fashion design, graphic design. I'm a multimedia artist. I'm a single mom of 2 kids, divorced, and I'm, you know, the founder and owner of Art and Hustle. And I've curated some art shows. Now I've gone into the podcasting world where I want to talk about the art of living. And I feel like every story will help and every story will heal. And that's how me and Sunrise got connected, where I saw you on Facebook and I was like, I love your energy. And, you know, if you'll be so kind to join me on my podcast, and this is how it's all evolved now. Now we do our weekly inspiring conversations. So I'm so happy to be here with you today.
I know, we're like cross-pollinating. Yay!
Yep. I mean, I love it because you have written your book and I was doing the podcast. And so since we connected, I was like, Sunrise, you got to do your podcast. I'm like, just do it. Just jump in. Right.
Yes. So for those who don't know, yes, I had this idea and it was stewing, and I may have recorded one thing during the pandemic. And then when I connected with Linda, Linda was like, just do it. Those are her exact words. She was like, just do it. She said, stop thinking about it. Stop overthinking it. She said, just press record and just do it. And so that first episode that everyone loves with Tenora from season 1, that would have never happened had it not been for my girl, Linda. So I'm so glad that she is on my side of the podcast to share her journey, mainly because everyone knows I do this show because I want people to feel comfortable in their relationship with a higher power. For me, I call it God. Whoever and whomever you are, I want people to feel connected to something bigger. And so I love having these conversations with people with different journeys. So I'll start with my first question, which I love to ask my guests, Linda. When you hear the word divinity or divine, what comes to mind for you?
I want to feel like it's hope and it's purpose and it's spirituality. So I've always said, like, I never really wanted to call it just one name because I feel like all religion should be all encompassing. So whatever you want to call it, whatever someone believes in, you know, Buddhism or whatever, I feel like we're all trying to obtain the same thing, where we're all feeling, you know, where we want to be in touch with something, a spirituality, a divine, your gut instinct, so your intuition, whatever it is. I feel like that's what divinity is. It's all of us. It's all encompassing. So I feel like it's a little bit of everything. And it's also like our purpose and of our authenticity. So if we can all be more authentic with our purpose and our intentions and to be in a space of who we are, mind, body, and soul, if we can be connected, then we'll be able to be more authentic, sit here with you and to be who we are. So then there's less conflict around in the world, you know?
When were you